Sigma males always seem to have something up their sleeves. They are unlike any other male breed in the social dominance hierarchy, which makes it difficult to know how their minds work. But as sneaky and elusive as they seem, Sigma men are not that hard to understand, especially if you pay close attention to the following quirky traits. While almost everyone who has come across a Sigma knows they are brave, independent, and often rebellious, these guys still have a lot hiding from people. This is because they rarely show some of their characteristics, and you only get to know them as you spend more time with them. But for those wondering what these traits may be, here are 10 quirky ones they rarely show. 1. They might prefer the company of animals over humans. Many people enjoy spending time with their pets, but Sigma men see it differently. They often prefer spending time alone with their pets rather than socializing with others. This doesn't mean they do not value human conversations. They simply find the company of animals to be more soothing and fulfilling. Just in case you were wondering why, animals are non-judgmental and unconditional in their love and affection. They do not have the same expectations and demands as humans, which can be overwhelming for Sigmas who value their independence. Animals provide a sense of companionship without the stress and pressure that can come with human relationships. Animals are also great listeners, providing a safe haven for those to express their deepest thoughts without fear of judgment. It's like they offer something that humans don't. Talking or simply spending time with their pets can be a therapeutic experience for Sigma men, helping them to work through their emotions and feelings in a non-threatening environment. 2. Their wit is super sharp, though they may rarely express it. Have you ever noticed how Sigmas usually don't participate in conversations? It's not because they are shy or lack knowledge, but rather that they are too observant to pass on a chance to speak. They have an incredible sense of humor and wit, as well as an opinion on every topic, but they rarely express it. This is because they like to remain mysterious and low-key. Sigma men have a lot of thoughts, but they don't always express them out loud. This doesn't mean that they lack communication skills. It's just that they prefer not to expose themselves too much. While they won't show it, they are generally quite intelligent and knowledgeable, which can be seen in the few witty remarks they do make. Many people may underestimate their intelligence since they do not express it openly. It's like they enjoy staying in the background, watching and observing how others interact. They do not feel the need to show off or gain other people's attention through their intelligence, and this is one of the quirks that make them so interesting. They enjoy being the dark horse in conversations, offering their insight and opinion when necessary. 3. They can be highly empathetic despite having thick walls. Why do so many people think that Sigma men are cold and emotionless? While it's true that they try to keep their emotional walls as high as possible, they can actually be some of the most empathetic men you will ever meet. They may not show it in public, but these men can be incredibly warm and understanding behind closed doors. They can understand and connect with others on a deep level, even if they don't show it outwardly. Their empathy may be one of the quirkiest traits that they rarely show. Sigmas are able to put themselves in others' shoes, sympathize with their struggles, and even help out when needed. Despite the walls they build around them, these men can still connect deeply with people and share in their emotions. This trait goes hand in hand with their independent nature, allowing them to understand other people without needing validation or approval. Their stoic exterior may seem intimidating at first, but in reality, they are really just trying to protect themselves and their emotions. They simply choose to keep their walls high for self-preservation reasons, and that's why it's important to understand and not judge them for their silent nature. 4. They can think incredibly logically, yet not get lost in details. These guys have a natural talent for tackling problems and breaking them down into their fundamental components. They can see patterns and connections that others might miss and quickly assess a situation to determine the best course of action. However, what sets Sigma men apart from other people with similar analytical abilities is their ability to keep a big picture perspective while not getting bogged down in details. They are not the type to get lost in the abyss of a problem. Instead, they are able to maintain a broad perspective and focus on the overall goal. This allows them to make decisions quickly and efficiently without becoming overwhelmed by irrelevant details. While other people may be stuck in an endless loop of analysis paralysis, Sigma men can make a decision and move on to the next challenge. This often results in innovative solutions and approaches others may not have considered. 5. They don't always talk about what's on their mind, but they remember everything. Unlike alpha males who are typically outgoing, Sigma males tend to keep to themselves and keep their thoughts and emotions hidden. They're not interested in small talk, nor do they share any personal information with others. However, this doesn't mean they are not paying attention or don't care about what's happening around them. Sigma men are highly observant and have excellent memories. They may not express their thoughts and feelings verbally, but they constantly take in information like a sponge. They're fully aware of everything around them, but choose to keep quiet. They act the same way even in relationships. However, they remember everything their partner does, even if they don't show it. This can be both a blessing and a curse, meaning they never forget a slight or an insult, but they remember the important things about the people they care about. Many people don't understand the quiet and reflective nature of Sigma men, but once you get to know them, it's easy to see that there is a lot more below the surface. 6. They don't make assumptions about people. They perceive them. Most people make quick assumptions about those that they've just met, even without taking the time to get to know them. However, unlike these people, Sigma men do not rely on preconceived notions or stereotypes to form an opinion about someone. They take the time to observe and analyze a person's behavior and character, gathering information from various sources before forming their opinion. This trait allows them to see beyond the surface-level characteristics and truly understand the people they interact with. This helps them build genuine relationships with others and avoid misunderstandings or miscommunications often arising from making assumptions. Their ability to perceive people often helps them identify hidden talents, strengths, and weaknesses in those around them. However, the Sigma's perception is often misunderstood as being uninterested, but this is far from reality. They're simply taking their time to study the person before they begin engaging with them. 7. They have a rich inner world that they keep to themselves. A rich inner world could make others label Sigma men as eccentric or weird, but this is only partially true. While they may not be the most vocal, their inner world is full of secrets, thoughts, and ideas. They love to explore different perspectives and contemplate complex problems that can't be solved easily. However, they don't share these thoughts with others unless absolutely necessary. They prefer to keep their inner world to themselves, as others may not understand the complexities of their thought process. This is really hard for the average person to understand and can often lead to misunderstandings. Society tends to value extroversion, but the quiet and introspective Sigma man usually has more to offer than meets the eye. While they may seem distant and unengaged on the surface, they have a deep and complex inner world that most people do not get to see. They're often highly creative individuals with vivid imaginations, but they don't feel the need to share this with other people. The outside world could be very toxic and often tries to overshadow the inner light within us. Sigma men are sometimes detached, not because they want to, but because they are trying to protect their inner energy. 8. They have a strong sense of ethics and fairness. While some people can be dishonest or manipulative and get away with it, Sigma men are not like that. They hate injustice and will go out of their way to protect those who can't defend themselves. They may come off as strong and silent types, but they have a strong sense of ethics and fairness that allows them to recognize right from wrong. They are highly thoughtful individuals who value authenticity and honesty above all else. They have a deep inner compass that guides their decision-making and motivates them to act with integrity in all situations. This sense of ethics and fairness is rooted in a strong belief in justice and the desire to uphold what is right, regardless of societal norms or expectations. Sigma males are often guided by their internal moral code rather than external pressures or influence, allowing them to remain true to their beliefs even in the face of adversity. They also believe that everyone should be treated with dignity and respect, and that no one should be taken advantage of. They are also highly conscientious people who stand up for their beliefs, even if it means going against the grain or risking social ostracism. 9. Small talk can be exhausting and sometimes feel pointless. These men find small talk exhausting and sometimes pointless because they don't see its value. Small talk is often nothing more than idle chit-chat, which can be boring for them. Sigma men may feel awkward and uncomfortable engaging in small talk because they don't know how to contribute to the conversation or what topics to discuss. Unlike alpha males who thrive in the spotlight, Sigmas prefer to observe from the sidelines. They would much rather engage in meaningful conversations and avoid shallow or superficial topics. They tend to be passionate and open people who enjoy exploring depth, so small talk is often not a good fit for them. They may struggle to connect with people because they are reluctant to engage in meaningless banter. They can also find deep and meaningful connections with people willing to go beyond the surface level. Sigma men may seem distant and unapproachable on the outside, but once you get to know them, you'll find they have a lot of depth and complexity worth exploring. 10. They are highly selective about friendships. They are highly selective about the people they call friends. Unlike most people who become friends with almost anyone, Sigma men tend to be very discerning about who they allow into their inner circle. They place a high value on genuine connection and mutual respect and are not interested in superficial or transactional relationships. For a Sigma, friendship is not just about having someone to hang out with or share common interests. It's about finding someone who understands and appreciates their individuality and who they can trust to be there for them when it matters most. Sigma men are particularly selective about their friendships because they have huge trust issues. Though they are not stuck in the past, they do not easily trust others, especially if they've been hurt before. They are cautious about whom they let into their lives, so they do not get hurt or abandoned in the future.